Hello, this video is announcing a format change to how I'm going to present Over the Reich. So for the videos I've uploaded thus far, I've basically been putting up the entire playthrough of the turn of Over the Reich as I play it, making comments as I think of them. I'm going to change that to what I'm calling an after-action report. So basically, I will play the turn, and then at the end of the turn, I will go and give a couple minutes summary of the turn and walk around the map and basically say this is where such and such happened. Now I planned to make the switch a little while ago and actually started recording these after action reports, but I didn't go and upload them because I was originally planning to fill it in with splice in live footage. I realized later that that was not going to fly. It was just going to take too long for, something that is done, more or less every day. So, so I had a whole bunch of footage that, I hadn't really looked at because it's like play the turn, make the after action report, go do something else, because I wanted to get the play test turns done. So I found out a lot of them had a tone noise because like there must have been something wrong with my other microphone. So if I upload that, I'm gonna have to go and fix that tone somehow. And then a few others just had I somehow turned the mic off and didn't realize that the settings were like that. So basically, what I'm going to do is right now is I'm just going to go and summarize sort of what happened for the past 20 turns or so. And so you can at least be caught up. So the big thing that happened is that I basically won the Battle of the Atlantic. So I went and I attacked, basically I attacked the west coast of France, killed all the military ports there, and also any other ports on the north coast of France as well. So like all the ports in France and most of the ports in the Netherlands, I just destroyed. So that means that I get a lot more convoys. So I'm getting like tons of convoys now to come in. And there are basically like no German submarines left. So that was one big thing that happened. So another thing that happened is that I fought a lot of stuff over the Netherlands. And so my plan, which I implemented, was to bring forth Spitfires on carriers out to provide some escort cover in the Netherlands. That sort of worked, except that the Germans had a lot more aircraft than I gave them credit for, especially around here. So I did end up wasting a lot of bombers. But I did discover the tactic of having bombers fly low and have P-47s hover above them, because the P-47s have a really strong diving reactive attack. So, so when the bombers were protected by P-47s, John Petrosky just kind of stopped attacking them in that sense. But he did also bring in a lot of flak to attack that, so there's like tons of flak here now. And at some point, I actually took a picture of the contents of Woolen Select Air Force Base, and there was like more fighters in there than I actually had fighters, available at all. So that didn't end up being such a great idea. It was a little bit after that I decided I needed to go and build up my forces somewhat. So on the night map, I actually took very heavy losses. I was sending all sorts of bombers in. They were just like ambushed right around here usually. I sent in a few streams down south. They got ambushed as well. And it was so bad that we agreed to change the game mechanics. So we made it so that after a bomber at night or even a fighter at night is attacked, it gets moved a couple squares, so then you have to find it again. And just makes things harder to do. So we'll have to see how that works, but it's just that's what playtests are for, is to find things that aren't working. Yeah. So it was so bad that when I had so Operation Gomorrah. So when I was told Operation Gomorrah, Arthur Harris has ordered Bomber Command to prepare for a massive strike at Hamburg. It is hoped that a ferocious strike will cause German morale to collapse, ending the war. 10 Halifax bombers have been deployed to Ridgewell Airfield to support this attack, and you have 8 turns to kill a special target there. So I was so concerned about my ability to get there that I sent Beaufighters on one-way missions to guard the bombers. Now it actually turned out that a single veteran Halifax was able to kill the special target in one hit, which is kind of, after I spent all that effort getting into it, it's, sort of the other side of the problem is that, maybe veteran bombs are too strong. So we'll have to decide more about that. But it's, I got a couple bombers through and managed to do it. But, it was still kind of like, is this going to happen? But anyway, hopefully we've got that fixed. It may need to be tweaked somewhat. And so I might as well show the Operation Gomorrah return report. Operation Gomorrah has been a frightening success worthy of its namesake. Days of bone-dry conditions, coupled with overextension of the city's firefighters, creates a recipe for disaster as a massive firestorm essentially destroys the city, I guess. Over 40,000 Germans lose their lives as 250,000 homes are destroyed. The scene is like something from the apocalypse. Civilians attempt to flee down the streets only to get stuck in the melting asphalt and boiled alive. The fire consumes oxygen at such a rate that hurricane-force winds rip through the streets, as the stonework of buildings glowed red as the devil's furnace. The German High Command is reportedly aghast at the destruction, with more than one top figure privately conceding that a few more strikes of this magnitude may force Germany out of the war. So that was Operation Gomorrah. And I think those were the major events and the turns that I haven't covered. Maybe I'll go back and do them over. Well, not do them over, but watch my raw footage and make reports like that. But I want to actually get back on track, because otherwise I'll just have a huge backlog and never get back to it. And I kind of actually want to have at least most of this game, shown in order to show off what we've done. So goodbye, and I hope you'll watch some of the after action reports.